Beach Up Sunset World.
Sushi,
Sumo, Tokushima!
この番組は地域密着型のボランティア活動を徳島で行っている国際ワークキャンプのメンバーがお届けする30分です。
This 30 minutes broadcast is hosted by volunteer members who come from abroad to help the community of Tokushima.
Good evening, everyone. I'm the host for this evening. I'm Rina from Japan. This radio program, Sushi, Sumo, Tokushima, is live on FM Bizan. This 30 minutes broadcast is operated by non-profit organization Bizan Daigaku. Bizan Daigaku has been trying to make Tokushima a more attractive place with volunteers from Tokushima and outside Tokushima, including people from many different countries. Popular images of Japan, sushi and sumo? Yes, but we would like people around the world to know not only those images, but more things about Japan. We share the news from Japan and information about Tokushima, a place that welcomes foreigners from all over the world. We will also invite guests from overseas online to share the latest news with you. No one knows who will be talking or what kind of topics we will bring up. Don't miss it.
Sushi,
Sumo, Tokushima!
Hello. Thank you for listening to Sushi, Sumo, Tokushima. I'm Rina and ready to introduce tonight's guest to you. Hello, Noriko-san.
Hello.
Hi. Noriko-san, can you introduce yourself to the listeners, please?
Okay, my name is Noriko Okusa. I'm from Seoul, Korea today. So I'm Japanese, but I've been in Korea for 4 years. I'm a housewife and also I'm teaching Japanese to Korean people online. Nice to meet you.
Yeah. And sounds great, Noriko-san. Thank you for coming to the radio show.
Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you. And so you're in Korea now. You live in Korea.
Yeah.
In which city?
I live in Seoul, capital of South Korea.
I see. So you live in Korea and teaching Japanese to Korean students?
Yes.
Japanese level of students are different from each student?
Yes, some are very beginner and some are the medium level. So I'm teaching with text or doing just conversation. It depends on students.
Sounds great. And do you speak Korean as well?
Yes. In a daily life conversation level, I'm okay.
Okay. Did you study Korean before you moved to Korea?
Yes, in Japan, but actually it's just my hobby. I didn't think I will move to Korea. So
Really?
I know Korean, but I haven't had much opportunity to talk with Korean people. So at first time I moved to Korea, I feel the difficulty to speak with Korean people. But now I'm okay to talk, but still difficult to reading and writing.
Okay. But since you studied Korean as your hobby when you were in Japan, you enjoyed it, I think.
Yes. I was interested in Korean culture and people. So I studied slowly and it helped me a lot.
Sounds great. How is it like to live in a foreign country?
Actually, Korea is very close to Japan, and we have many similar culture. Like, for example, the Korean food, they use soy sauce and miso, and the main food is rice. So I don't feel much difficulty to living here.
Nice.
And nowadays, Korea IT skill is very strong and fast.
Okay.
So we can do everything by mobile phone. Yeah, that's very amazing. And now I'm used to Korean life now, so I'm a little bit afraid of back to Japan.
Yeah, I guess so, but it sounds funny. So, is it your first time to live abroad, or was it your first time to visit Korea?
Actually, it's my third country to live in abroad.
Really?
I lived in France after I graduated university. And I lived in East Timor in Southeast Asia for 1 year in 2015. So those countries are very different in Europe, in Southeast Asia, and East Asia. And they are all not English-speaking countries. So
yes, that's true.
In each country, actually, I was struggling with languages. But also, I could find lots of different cultures. That's nice.
Yes. And so, did you study French when you lived in France?
Yes, actually, I stayed in France as a medium-term volunteer. So I lived with working as a volunteer. I also studied French, and I could speak French a little bit now. But now I forgot French.
Yeah, when you don't have many chances to speak that language, we forget. But in Timor, which language do people speak?
In East Timor, they speak Tetun. Tetun is their own language. Yes.
Okay. Did you also study? No?
Yeah, I studied a little, but East Timor is a very small country, like Japanese Iwate Prefecture, almost the same size of Iwate Prefecture.
I see.
But they use lots of different languages, like 30 languages they speak differently, and their common language is Tetun. Also, they have a history invaded by Indonesian army. So that's why elder people use Indonesian. That's very complex. So I learned Indonesian and Tetun at that time.
Wow.
Now I can speak only the greetings like this. So
Wow, interesting. You actually experienced so many different cultures, and actually you've been to the place and stayed there for a while. So it was not like you're just visiting as a tourist.
Yeah.
I see. And you went there as a volunteer, you said. Actually, you came to Tokushima 4 years ago
Yeah.
as a member of NGO NICE, right?
Yeah.
And I remember you were a leader of this group from Oman in Middle East. Do you remember how crazy it was?
Yes, I never met Oman people before. We stayed together, cooked together. I think for Oman people, everything is very new.
I think so.
Very sometimes difficult to adapt, and sometimes they enjoyed a lot. I think.
Yes, I was actually there, and I met Noriko-san, and I met people from Oman. And since our cultures were so different, but at the same time, it was so different that I think they really enjoyed the experience as well as we did. And I was happy that they came to Tokushima when there was Awa Odori. It was just before Awa Odori. So it was so interesting, and it was so nice communicating with people from Oman. So you came to Tokushima as a member of NICE before, Noriko-san. Are you still a member of NICE?
Yes. But nowadays I cannot go to Japan, so I am a member of NICE, but I can meet my NICE friends only online.
Online, but you can still meet them online.
Yeah.
That's nice. Okay, now we would like to play one song, and we will be right back after a short break.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Sushi,
Sumo,
Tokushima! We're back. And I'm with Noriko-san, who is in Korea. Hi.
Hi.
Okay, so Noriko-san, I heard that you just participated in a work camp in Korea.
Yes.
What did you do?
So first of all, this year in Korea there are 7 or 8 work camps held all over Korea, and most of them are in South Island, so island work camp.
Island.
So actually, we went to the very small island called Yonodo. So Yono Island, Yonodo is a very small island, and the population is just 70 people.
70?
70, yeah, 70.
Wow. Okay.
So most of them are 70s and 80s. So older people are living in that island. And there are some garbages on the beach from the sea. So we gather the garbage and make the artwork. And we made the artwork, and we decorated on the wall of the houses in the village.
Really? Wow,
that's our work. And also there are some artwork already villagers and artists made, and some are very some are collapsed or getting old. So we painted again and renovated the artwork.
Wow, sounds wonderful. So if we go to Yonodo, we can see your artwork over there.
Yeah.
Wow, great. Okay. So participants were all from Korea?
They are Koreans and also foreigners living in Korea.
Really?
They are from Hong Kong, USA, Thailand, Vietnam, and Japan.
Oh, I see. Did Korea start accepting foreigners already?
Not yet. Not foreigners from other countries because of COVID-19, but like us already living in Korea.
Okay, people who live in Korea. Okay.
Yeah.
I see. That is nice. Are there any other plans for NICE to have work camps in Korea from now on?
This year, no more work camps. Maybe next year, so they will do the island work camp again.
Okay, I see. And Noriko-san, I forgot to ask you about your life in Korea. I am curious about Korean culture and especially food because I love Korean food. And for me, Korean food is spicy. But I experience more Korean food in Japan than in Korea. Is it more spicy in Korea? And can you eat spicy Korean food every day?
I think actually Korean food are spicy. I mean, the Korean food in Japan is not so spicy.
Okay.
So some foods are very, very spicy. I cannot eat.
You can't. Okay.
But Korean people really like spicy food. For example, tteokbokki is a spicy rice cake food.
Tteokbokki.
Maybe you can find in Japan too. So originally, this food is not very spicy, like spicy and sweet food.
Yes.
But nowadays, more spicy food people like. So it's getting spicier. So now, especially young people prefer the very spicy food. So in convenience stores, there are many instant Korean food, and some are very, very spicy, like competition.
I see.
So,
I know Shin Ramen in Japan. From Korea.
Yes.
Are there like other instant food which are sold in stores, spicier than Shin Ramen?
Yes, they are selling the noodle called pultak 볶음면. Pultak 볶음면. Pul means fire.
Fire. Okay.
And tak means chicken. So it's a fire chicken. The 볶음면 is fried noodle. So it's a fire chicken fried noodle.
Wow,
this noodle is
so
very, very spicy.
Wow.
So be careful. Actually, when I eat this, I put the sauce only half. Otherwise, I cannot eat.
Oh no. I think, for example, in the United States, if you hear chicken noodle soup, it's really soft flavor because you eat that when you're sick or,
Yes.
So be careful for spicy chicken noodle in Korea.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. I heard that you actually wrote about your life in Korea, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Can we read what you write?
Yes. Recently, I published books. It's an e-book, not a paper book. So my book title
online.
is yes, and only in Japanese.
Okay.
So the title is 韓国で節約文化的生活. So it means how to say so cheap cultural life in Korea. So it's a tips about how to enjoy Korean life, but not using much money. So, for example, in Korea, there are many services for foreigners. So, for example, I can learn Korean language free.
For free? Wow.
For Seoul City, provided free class for foreigners. Nowadays, it's online. Before Corona, it was offline class. So foreigners bought only textbooks by themselves, and all classes are free. Like this, also the Korean traditional culture, like instruments.
Wow, nice.
Making some craft like this. So we can get free class. This is very good support. But some foreigner know it, some foreigner don't know it. Because of, especially Japanese people don't know this information much. Because it's most information provided by English.
I see. Okay. Really?
That's why I wrote this book by Japanese, and I like to introduce these tips for Japanese people. But it's not only for Japanese in Korea, also the people in abroad. So maybe there are similar service in each country. So it's tips how to enjoy your foreign life. That's the purpose of this book.
Sounds great. And I am sure so many Japanese people who read your book can learn a lot of things how you can enjoy living abroad or in Korea.
Yeah.
Sounds great, Noriko-san. And thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much. So I enjoyed a lot when I was in Tokushima for the work camp, and I really want to come back again. So thank you for listening, and I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you.
Thank you. Sounds great. Yay. So, alrighty, since we have almost reached the end of the program, we're waiting for messages from you with feedback or requests. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Sushi.
Sumo. Tokushima!
This radio program, Sushi, Sumo, Tokushima, is being recorded here on Bizan FM in Tokushima. This program is operated by non-profit organization Bizan Daikaku. We are open to and accepting any forms of support or contributions you have to offer within the local community of Tokushima. Please do not hesitate to contact us if you wish to get involved by emailing radio@bizan-daigaku.net. We are accepting requests and messages via email. Please send emails to request@bfm.jp, request@bfm.jp, including the title of the show, Sushi, Sumo, Tokushima, in your messages. You can listen to this channel, FM Bizan, on the internet with your PC, smartphones, and tablets. If you are accessing with your PC, go to the website www.bfm.jp and you will find a banner written Listen Radio on the right side of the page. If you are accessing with your smartphone or tablet, download the application Listen Radio, then select BFM 791 FM Bizan with the area Chugoku Shikoku. If you are listening to this radio in the area where has a weak radio wave, don't worry. You can listen to programs with clear sound through this internet radio system. No one knows who will be talking or what kind of topics we will bring up next Thursday. Don't miss it. See you next Thursday at 6:30 p.m. Bye bye.